Shalom. I am Brother Isaiah, also known as Mr. Blacktastic or Yeshaya. Welcome, beloved. I'm a born-again Messianic Israelite follower of Adonai Yeshua HaMashiach, also known as the Lord Jesus Christ. I believe Almighty God is awakening a remnant of scattered Israel as dry bones in a valley to their identity as natural descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as part of the promised seed of faith. I believe the greater portion of this awakening remnant of Israel are Negro, slave, and immigrant descendants in the Western world. I believe this awakening is to bring together Israelite and Gentile believers as one in Christ to fulfill Scripture before the imminent return of Christ to reign on earth and before the final judgment. It is my sincere prayer that through the ministry of the Scriptures by the Holy Spirit, I may serve my generation as a prophetic voice to awaken Israel and all in need of salvation through the gospel of Yeshua Mashiach. On this platform, I will be teaching or discussing scripture, history, and other relevant issues. I pray you receive insight, inspiration, and faith by the word in the name of Adonai Yeshua. All right, so Shabbat Shalom, beloved. And of course, we have today linguistics, and hold on, that went too fast. There we go. Let's go back. Linguistics, translation, and transliteration number 7 with none other than my sister from another mister. All right. And that is none other than Ashanti. What it be like? What it be like?
Shabbat Shalom, Aki Yeshayahu. And way Shalom, way Shabbat Shalom Lekol Mishpacha Wahaberim. Ko Tehelim, Ko Kabo Hatiferet Le Yahweh Avinu Eloheinu. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, our Father, our Elohim, our deity, our power. How are you and everyone this evening?
Shalom. You know, see, I'm drinking milk like those old commercials, and one day when I grow up, I'm gonna be just like you.
You're funny for that. I want to be like you when it comes to this history, though. When it comes to this biblical history, though, you know, you be putting things together. You be knowing how to break it down.
I'm trying. You know, I'm just, it's public school education. It's working out. You know?
All right.
It's working out.
Right on.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom there, Apostle Curtis, man. Good to see you, my brother. Apostle Curtis be doing his teaching too. I be perusing through, catching him, even when he don't know I'm watching, I be checking him out, He takes his time to go through it. I like how he approaches things. He don't try to rush nothing. He gonna take his time and put it together. Good to see you, my brother. And there she is. Dearly beloved Stephanie McMillan. Always good to see you, beloved. All right, Regina. Have you seen her? I seen her, Regina. There she is. Regina, that's right. That's right. All right, RPW, Regina Palmer Williams. That's righteous, powerful woman. That's what we're going to RPW. All right, Regina, what's happening? All right, and Sister Shar. Sister Shar is a true student. She always comes to learn. I love her spirit. All right, my brother, Clifford Possible. Man, Clifford, with a name like Possible, you got to have faith. I mean, you can't be half-stepping with that name, brother. So I know this brother got to have mountain moving faith. Demons got to be when he's in the room. That Possible brother's here. We got to go.
Right.
We got to go. That's right. All things are possible.
That's right.
Hallelujah. Most high. All right. And to all those that are joining us from wherever you are, we know other people are going to be coming in. It is Friday. Everybody getting off work and getting in the building. Oh, there's somebody I love. My sister from another mister. Sister Angie love Yah. And she does love Yah. She love the people too. That's a prayer warrior extraordinaire. If you got her on your team, you win it. Amen. So I'm glad to see all of you all that are here with us in the room on this evening. And we're going to do some different things tonight here. Doc got a document for us. All right. And we got, I guess, some little flashcard exercises or things that I'm going to try to put up on the screen. She's going to elaborate and expound on that. for us to the best of her ability, and I believe her ability is great. So that's why we got her on here. But I do want to say this because, like I told you, Doc, when we were talking, I'm impressed by the amount of comprehension and knowledge that some of our audience has, especially our sisters.
Hallelujah.
Encouraged by that, So the sisters are getting it in, and so they gonna learn this Hebrew so they can know how to speak to these Negroes. Oh, brothers, we gotta catch up.
Right.
We gotta catch up. Coming through. They coming through. But this has been a funny week. I know you on the West Coast. I'm here. And we had this thing down here in the South that it just started raining for, like, I say, no reason. Like, it was just like, it was looking fine one day, and then it just started raining. And I'm like, what in the world? They call it the devil beating his wife.
Oh boy.
I said, oh, she might be beating him. But in any event, the South is just, the weather. When I first came to Georgia, they said, hey man, if you don't like the weather, just wait 15 minutes. It's gonna change. So I don't even know how you can survive as a meteorologist down here in the South because the weather does what it wants to do.
That's funny.
So it's sometimes hard to predict. But it's getting cold now. But I know y'all out in California. I got a message from one of my folks in California telling me something. Yeah, it's 83 degrees out here.
That must be LA or something. Yeah. I'm in the valley. Okay, I'm in the valley. I'm in the valley, Sacramento, but there's also Stockton and Modesto. I think right now we in the lower, we in the mid 50s right now. We're in the mid 50s. So if you're talking about 80, 85 degrees, that's probably LA, Los Angeles.
Yeah, Inland Empire, down in that area. That's where they're at. Talking about some 80 degrees. And when they did it to me, I said, now I know how my other folks felt when I was living out there, and I used to do that to them.
Yeah. You're like, it's sunny out here.
Yeah.
Nowhere near cold. We out here on the beach. You know what I mean? Are you out here on the beach in November, December? Yeah. And something about Sacramento? I don't know if they do it in LA. They probably do. We eat outside all year round. We throw up the outside heaters. We be outside in front of the restaurants eating food. All you got to do is throw on a big coat, get you a nice warm, drink, alcoholic beverage or something, and throw on the outside heater, the patio heater, and you're good to go.
So get you a coat and some libations and you be warm.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's getting cold out here. I know my sister who is out here. She likes to do the every year she does a jacket thing where she gives away a bunch of jackets and coats and stuff like that. So I said, I know it's getting close to about that time where that's going to start being done. And so, but yeah, it's starting to get a little nippy out here.
A little nippy.
Just a little taste. But we hanging and banging and we doing our thing.
Right. Right.
We doing all right.
Scripture slanging. That's what you doing, huh? Hanging and banging and scripture slanging. Yeah.
Yeah, we Christ walking out here. We Christ walking. I got it. Throwing it up.
Right? Oh man.
We doing our thing.
Right.
But yeah, so I have a few little items I wanted to introduce to the audience. And probably just like I said, and then I know you have a document that I want to use for probably the bulk of what we do here. And thank you so kindly for coming on early so we get a little bit more time with you. We miss you every time you're gone. We be like, ooh, just a little bit more. So we're going to get a little bit more tonight, y'all. All right?
Yeah.
A little bit more. And who else we got here? Shirley Greer, shalom and bless you, beloved. I see Joy. She just snuck in the back door. All right? She got the church finger up. She snuck in the back door and sat on the back pew right next to Nicole. See, they came in. But, we saw y'all. We saw you. We saw you. Shirley snuck in right before him. So I'm just glad to
This is
see everybody here.
hilarious.
I pray and hope that everybody's in good health and doing very well, because that's what I want to hear is good news. I feel like what the Wicked Witch on the Wiz say? Don't nobody bring me no
No
bad
bad news. Yeah.
news. So that's
Right on.
so that's where we at, you know. But
Right.
I'm gonna enter. Let me see. I got this. Let me see. I can share it here real briefly, and you may or may not be familiar with this, but let me go ahead and put it on the screen. You know, they keep adding extra features to StreamYard, which actually not too bad. You know,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
too bad at all. All
It would be
right, so
nice if they add a whiteboard. They really compete with Zoom then if they add a
that
whiteboard.
would be excellent. I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you on that. So
Mm-hmm.
here's the resource. All right. So for those of you who are interested, there's a few books I want to introduce to you all that you all can get. All right. Who I see in there? My brother Calvin Andrus. Shalom and Shabbat Shalom to you, brother. All right. Good to see you coming on in. All right. And he wears the Shamgar. Man, I love that name. Shamgar. You know, that's a warrior's name right there. All right.
Hmm.
I think Shamgar wasn't Shamgar the one that was whooping folks with a axe gold or something like that, or some he some. You know, Shamgar was a bad boy. All right, so
Hmm.
here's the book. It's called How to Write Hebrew, How to Write Hebrew Alphabet. All right, and it says learn how to write Hebrew letters, step-by-step guidebook for beginners, kids and adults, and it's by a lady by the name of Rachel Mintz. And so these
Hmm.
are a few things you can actually get these because I have digitized a lot of books, and that's because I had like a huge book collection, and some of them got destroyed. And I'm not
Hmm.
even going into the details about that, but I lost a lot of literature. Some books were out of publish, and then I have other books that my sister has at her place. So I said, you know what? I'm going to just start digitizing as much information as I can. That way I can always have it with me. And, you know, for me, you know, I am a bookworm. I do believe in reading as much as possible. But this makes it easier for me to just be able to carry this literature with me wherever I go on my tablet, when I go on trips and things of this sort, and I always have it with me. 78 Vet, shalom, beloved. Good to see you. All right. She snuck on in the back too with that church finger up like Nicole. I'm just messing with y'all. I'm glad to see y'all. You know, it's Friday, y'all. We got to have some fun. All right. But one of the intros that she says here in the book is did you know? And just starts off the Hebrew language was used 4,000 years ago by Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It was used by Moses 3,500 years ago when he spoke to the children of Israel. And is this big enough? Can everybody see this on the screen real good? I hope so. If you can see this fine, do me a favor and give me a one in the chat so I know that you can see this. All right. Give me a one in the chat. And in the meanwhile, I'll keep reading through it. All right. And it says King David used Hebrew 3,000 years ago when he made Jerusalem the capital city of Israel. So did King Solomon, who built the Jewish temple on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. Yeshua or Jesus was using Hebrew 2,000 years ago. In Jerusalem and across Israel were found numerous scripts, scrolls, clay carving, stone decoration with Hebrew on them dating back 3,000 years. In those days, the Hebrew letters were written slightly different and are called Tav Ivri. Are you familiar with this, sis?
Familiar with what specifically?
When she said that this term Tav Ivri.
Oh, Katab Ivri. Katab means written or write. Ivri means Hebrew, writing of Hebrew. So it may have looked different from the script or the lettering we see now. Is the lettering we see now is the Aramaic block script, definitely adopted by Ezra after the
Okay.
Babylonian captivity. So Katab Ivri means the writing of Hebrew maybe before the Aramaic block script was adopted.
Okay, so that backs what you've been telling us, you know, over
Mm-hmm.
the last few lessons. So that coincides right with what you said. And then she has some writing up here. And then she said at 135 AD. So it gives us a little bit of a history here. At 135 AD, most of the Jewish people were deported from Israel by the Romans. The Romans, who wanted to erase any trace of Jewish sovereignty, changed the name of Judea to Palestinian or Palestina. For 2,000 years, Jews were living in dozens of foreign countries using Hebrew language only for praying. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, liturgical services and praying. I mean, yeah, that's what it was used for a lot. So the ones who were able to have retained it.
Wow. So this was not, so there was a long time period then when Hebrew was not the everyday language that people conversed in or interacted with each other in then.
Correct.
Wow. So, I think going through this history, and then she says about 2,200 years ago, when the Russian pogroms began, Jews started to head back home and the Hebrew language was revived. Today, it is the official language in Israel. There are 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet. Then she says what is +5 final form letters, which are written differently. When they are at the end of a word, Hebrew is written and read from right to left. So, and then she gives us this little chart here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And can you see that real good, Doc?
Can, yes.
Okay. So kind of guide us through this here, because I'm assuming this will be the alphabet, correct? And then we're reading from right to left rather than from left to right. Because I think because our tendency, because of us being in the westernized culture, would be to start trying to read this from left to right on our way down versus from right to left as we see it on the screen. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. So what do we have here?
So pretty much this is the consonants of the alphabet. You have each consonant is the picture of a sound it represents, right? So aleph, that would be one of your guttural letters. It doesn't have a sound. Bet. So from right to left, this arrow here. So you have aleph, bet, and then gimel, dalet, and then the next the next row down is hey, and then wav or vav or wav, and zayin, and the next letter is chet. You got to kind of.
So it's like a kind of a. I remember we talked about how the pronunciation is kind of rough or sounds a little harsh. So you got to really enunciate. In other words, right?
It's softer than people think. So you don't have to, cough up a loogie or anything to pronounce it.
Right.
However, it's just like almost like you're charging like a cat is about to charge at somebody. You know how the cat makes that sound. And then the go ahead.
Because we like I said, I'm country and ghetto at the same time, so I'm country. Folks like me, we'll just go Chet. That sounds like somebody's nickname.
Low. And low means no, so no, it's not Chet. It's Chet. Chet.
So then I think she has each of these. Well, we just go. This makes it easier because this is even bigger.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, because this tells you how to start writing it out. So when you look at the arrows and look at the numbers, it's telling you the process to write it. So first, or number one, you do this. Like you go down, it's pointing the arrow down, right? And then the second step or number two step is you do this little hook, right? And then the third is the left hook on the bottom. So that's the aleph. It's the guttural, right? And then the next letter.
Let me see if I can make this. I'm trying to see if I can make this bigger. Maybe I don't need to make it bigger, but
it's cool right now.
It's cool like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm just I'm probably the blindest person in here.
Oh well, if you need to make it bigger for yourself, go right ahead. This your thing. Do what you want to do. You know what I mean? I can't tell you.
I just want to make it as big as possible.
Right.
Okay. Let me quit messing around with it.
Right.
Everybody else,
I'm not going to do this for all of these, but I was just pretty much letting people know how to navigate to how the writing is to be practiced if you want to learn the
So even
alphabet.
in writing these, there's a certain way to write it that we may be not used to or unfamiliar with.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then we already went to the bet.
Bet. Yeah.
All right, and then we had
Bet. Bet. And then Gimel.
all right.
Gimel. Mm-hmm.
We
And
have the
then Dalit. Dalit.
Okay, so we have the. Let me see what else we got. Okay, and then we got the hey.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
The vav.
And then the vav. Right? Mm-hmm. Vav or wa. And this is Zion.
Zion. Okay.
So yeah.
And then here we have
and then
the het.
Het. Yeah, het. Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna get it eventually. I told you,
Hey, it takes practice.
And drinking milk now, so I'm gonna grow up in a minute.
Right on.
All right. Then we have the tet.
Tet. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then you have the yud. Some people say yid, or some people say yod. Yud or yod. Same difference. All right. And then you have the kaf. And this is very important to get this kaf. Kaf. And you see how you see the name of the letter, how it's spelled or transliterated. K-A-F. Remember that. Kaf, right?
So almost saying like the word cough, with just a little bit more emphasis on the
kaf.
Instead of okay.
Right.
So it's a K-A or C-A rather than a C-O or K-O.
It would be K-A-F transliterated, and I'll tell you why when we come up to another letter.
Okay.
And that's the lamed.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Lamed. And that's the mem. Right? Mem. And then the noon. That's the noon.
So it's not, I will say none, but this is noon. So.
Noon. Right.
Right.
Because you say Joshua, son of none. The none.
Right. And so it's actually the son of noon, right? Right. But see that, that's our Western mind. We pronounce it the way we see it, because there's a corresponding word in our language.
Right.
So we automatically pronounce it that way without even realizing it.
Yep.
All right. So we got the noon. Who is he? Tracy Lewis, what you laughing at? I see you in there.
Oh, man.
And Regina too.
They laughing at you talking about you need a new prescription for your glasses. Ooh, wee.
Yeah, I said it. I can't take it back now. They got me.
And this is the samech. Samech. So see that CH is at the end now. Samech. Samech.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Mm.
And that kind of goes back to what, the cough, right?
No, that goes back to the het.
The het. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
CH, like that candy we used to take to church. Brock. Right?
I got you.
The CH in there.
Okay, so now we got the next line down. We got what is ayin?
Ayin. You can say ayin or ayin. I say ayin. It's the guttural. It has like the like a sound. And this is the actual letter or consonant that begins the name Gomorrah. So it's not actually Gomorrah. It's like Amora or something like that.
Okay, yeah. So instead of Solomon, we overpronounce the G then.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna remember all of this really well. Because I'm gonna geek out and just rehearse this as much as possible.
Yes. I'm in heaven right now because I'm like in class. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. This is the pay.
Now let me ask you this. because we have the charts below the letters, right, that show us how to draw the letters themselves. Is it important? Is it as important that when we write these things out, we write it out the way that she has it on the diagram, or is it just important that we get the writing correct when we write it out?
It is very important that you learn how to write the consonants precisely as they are written, because there are some consonants that look alike.
Okay.
And the subtle nuances in the consonants, they make a big difference. Like between the Dalit and the Resh, or between the Noon and the Gimel, so to speak. So it's very important that you learn how to write the consonants precisely as they are being instructed to you.
All right. So y'all heard that. Follow the instructions. Don't freelance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'll be like, I got it, and then we mess it all up. You know, that's how Israel ended up in trouble in the Bible too.
Right. And as you hear me pronounce the consonants, you can pretty much tell which letters for the English they be transliterated into, right?
Okay. Yeah, I think I see the
connection. I don't know if you're catching that.
I'm catching it.
Okay. So now this is funny. This is a Sadi. Sadi or Sade. It could be Tzade or Tsade. It is not Taza.
Okay.
It is not Taza.
You meddling.
It is Sadi. Almost like the T is silent a little bit. You know, like instead of saying knife, what we say knife. Sadi.
Okay, because you know we got some of them brethrens that be over pronouncing this.
It's wrong. It's wrong. It is not Taza.
Taza.
Low.
It is not
that
at all.
Low means no, not at all.
Shalom, B1 Queensland. Good to see you come in, beloved. All right. If anyone else has come in while we're doing this, please charge it to my head, not to my heart. But we into the lesson. All right. See, now you know I'm be trolling people with this.
I can see you now.
I'm just waiting for the opportunity.
I know.
I'm gonna act like I got a new accent, like I switched from French's mustard to Grey Poupon. I'm gonna be all.
Oh man.
So what we got next? Okay, we got the koof.
Oh, low. This would be kof.
Kof.
Now remember, I said the last letter that looked like a backward C was kof.
Right.
This is why I say this is very vital to pronunciate the even the consonants correctly. So this is kof.
Got you. So that subtle difference makes a big change in words itself if you don't pronounce them correctly, correct?
Cain. So just like we have a difference between C and K in our English alphabet, so does Hebrew have a difference between kaf and kof, even though they sound like two different consonants.
Okay, cool.
And this is resh.
See, I would have said that correctly. I promise you I wasn't going to say resh or reshi, like Reggie. I was gonna do it with the tongue roll and everything. Resh. See, I got it. I have it.
That's how practice too.
Than I am, so they're probably embarrassed by me and disowning me right now wherever they are. Y'all better claim me and let me come to the cookout. I'm gonna get it right.
Tracy Lewis says a ditty with it,
Yeah. Everybody else is speaking Hebrew. I'm gonna come with a British accent.
Oh wow.
All right.
All right, and this is the shin.
Okay. So this one actually is pronounced the way it looks.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, in Hebrew, of course, it don't look like shin, but the shin that's spelled out to help us pronounce it correctly.
Cain, and this also equates to sin as well. So the context will tell you, or the word, the context and how the word is used will tell you if it's a shin or a sin.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And you're gonna see. Okay, so this is a tav. They say tav here. They say TAF. I would say TAV. Tav.
So
So this is a tav.
all right. So is the AF part almost like saying AV, kind of if you pronounce?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
So it's like when we say like Bokatav or Erev Tav, so to speak.
That would be told.
Tov. Okay. All right. Erev
Okay.
Tov. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then we
Mm-hmm.
back to the regular alphabet. Okay. This
Well,
is a
this is. Mhm.
pretty decent.
Oh, these are the final letters of the word. So these are when something's at the when these letters are at the end of the word, they take on a different form. So the end mean the word that means end in Hebrew would be sof. So you call it sofit. So these are the mem sofit, the kaf sofit, the noon sofit, the fe sofit, and the sare sofit. These are the five consonants that look this way when they're at the end of the word.
Okay. You know what? This is kind of giving me an idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering who would like to come up and try their pronunciation of the. What do you think about that?
Hey, that would be awesome.
Let some
That would
people.
be awesome.
Y'all want to come up and try your pronunciation? Just hey,
With the olive bits
it's good practice.
came.
It's good practice. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. If you all want to come up and practice while we got Doc here and see how you do with the pronunciation, come on up and do it. All right. So if you want to come on up, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and she has a document too that she's going to go over. So if you want to come up and see how you do, come on up. All right. I'll put the link in the chat. So we'll see if anybody wants to give it a try. So
Mm-hmm.
I won't be the only one that y'all talking about, and then y'all gonna get up here me anyway. So then I'm just not gonna say nothing. But if you want to try it out, I think it'd be a good chance for you all to come up and just try your luck or try it. The enunciation and pronunciation. The Queen says she need a Rosetta Stone. I need all the stones. Okay.
Now, hey, I would say something about Rosetta Stone. Rosetta Stone is going to teach you modern Hebrew, the Israeli Hebrew. So,
Okay.
Rosetta Stone, I haven't seen one that's for biblical Hebrew.
Okay, so there is a difference between the biblical Hebrew and the current Hebrew that they're using in Israel on a regular basis. That's is
That
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 correct?
is correct. That is correct. This
Okay,
takes some getting used to. Yeah, definitely, Sister Stephanie. It does take practice. When I started out practicing, shoot, like about 3 or 4 days out the week, and then class on weekends. However, I wrote these letters out all the time. I would spend about 30 minutes. And then when things started getting more intense, I wanted to challenge myself. I went to an hour. So you just got to practice writing them out. I also practice writing out the numerical value and the name of them. So I started out learning about 3 or 4 letters or consonants at a time, and you move on from there. So,
so
but they
it's like
definitely. Mhm.
practice makes perfect.
I don't know if practice makes perfect, but practice sure enough make you okay at it.
So practice makes better. All right.
Right.
I can roll with that.
Right. Right.
Practice makes better. So let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot. You know, meme Sophite or mem Sophite.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then Kaf Sophite,
Mm-hmm.
and then Noon Sophite.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then Peh Sophite or Pa Sophite.
Peso feet.
Peh Sophite.
Okay.
And then
Uh-huh.
uh, Zadi Sophite. Right,
Sadi
right.
Sophie. Mm-hmm.
T is more of an S sound, correct?
Yeah, like CATS, that TS on the end of the word cats.
Okay.
That's the pronunciation of this, the Sadi.
Okay. So Sadi Sophie. All right.
Mm,
And so Meme Sophite, Noon Sophite,
mm-hmm.
Kaf Sophite, Pet Sophite,
Mm-hmm.
and then Sadi Sophite.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
Yes.
All right. See, y'all, it's not that hard. Y'all
Right.
can do it. Y'all can do it. Who can come up here and say the whole alphabet?
Oh.
Where Tracy at?
she
Y'all can do
need
this.
a book with all the symbols and meaning. Um. Hey, let me drop my email in the chat here.
Yeah, definitely do. And also, because someone did actually ask me for your channel too. Let's put your channel. Or you know what? Yeah, give me your drop your. Let me see here. 'Cause this
Yep,
thing is.
I'm dropping that now.
You got your email. You put. Did you put? Were you able to put your email in there?
Not yet. I'm doing it right now. Yep. If anyone wants the PDF of this basics of biblical Hebrew that I have, you can hit me up in my email, um, and I'll send it to you. It's not the complete book, as though the PDF only shows a great portion of it, however, not the total thing. So this I give to people to hold them over in case they really truly want to learn.
Yeah. Now, Apostle Curtis asked a great question. He says, "So the Hebrew that is being spoken in the state of Israel in our day and time is not the ancient Hebrew of old."
Low. There are a couple of words they use still, like what I just said, low, for no. You have that's lamed aleph for low. Um and they use it, aleph ta, that can't be translated into um English. It's just a direct object marker. So they still use certain words, but no, it's very different. Just like things, there's etymology and technology that advances. There are vocabulary words that are new to the language, such as when they make cars, planes, and trains, right? When there's cellular phones, they have they have words there that are very different, for things that come about. So it's very different. There are some words that are the same. There are some words that's the same, and you can, when you see them, you'll actually recognize that the root does go back to some biblical words. For the most part, modern or Israeli or conversational Hebrew is not biblical slash classical Hebrew. And B1 Queen's Land over in Israel, they do not speak Yiddish. Yiddish is a German dialect that uses the Aramaic block script. Now, I will say this: I would love to get this brother on named Morah David Royal. You guys have probably you guys have probably heard him or seen him on YouTube as D. Glenn Royal. When he teaches from the Biblia Hebraicus to Cartensia. He reads and he translates. He learned the language since he was in like elementary or junior high school, if I'm not mistaken. He is fluent in the language, which means when he goes to Israel, he has full-blown conversations with the people. Full-blown conversations with the people.
So he's fluent. He's
fluent. He is fluent. I ain't talking about fluent. Fluent. And definitely, if you could get that brother on, I mean, I could ask him. If you ask him, tell him Shanti sent you. He's very familiar with who you are. That brother right there, he's a gift in this community. His channel, YouTube channel, D. Glenn Royal. Please subscribe to that brother's channel. Subscribe to mine too if you can. That brother's channel though, hey, that's brother Vinny D calls him Gentle Giant. Hey, he's the truth.
So y'all heard that. Now look in the do me a favor, because the way that Google is set up, you have to, in order to put links and emails and stuff like that in there, you got to have moderator privileges. So just type shalom or anything in there, and then I can go ahead and do that, and then you can put your links and everything in the chat with the rest.
Oh, you talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay, so you need me to put my email over here. Oh, right, shalom right here.
Yeah, and then I can then that way you can put your information in the chat so that the people can email you and get your information, and also so they can get Elder Royal's Morah Royal's information. All right, put shalom in the public. Yeah,
in the public chat from okay, put it in the public chat. Okay, here you go.
Yeah, because Google has this or YouTube has this thing where it doesn't allow everybody to put. Okay, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now you can now you should be able to put the your email in there and your channel and everything in there, and that way the people can keep up with you when you're doing your lessons and stuff here as well. Y'all can support my sister, help her get her subscribers up, support Morah Royal, all right, because we want to spread the wealth of knowledge so that the people will be taught and be well balanced. All right. Shalom there, Mr. Spacely. Good to see you, my brother. All right. Good to see you. And so Stephanie also, she put the, that's your page, right?
Yep.
All right. So we put that in there. Now you should be able to type in a public chat and your information should show up in there now.
Yep. There we go. Okay, cool.
All right. There we go. So y'all check her out. Y'all check her out. All right. Big Red, my man. Big Red. I said Big Red is becoming a celebrity with these slave narratives that we've been doing.
Big ups, Big Red.
Yeah, my cousin said, who's the brother? We ain't say brother, he's from the streets. So he said, who's the brother that was reading Uncle Barry? He sounds just like Uncle Barry. So we need back readings for slave narratives. We're gonna be doing another one coming up pretty soon. But this is the information for Sister Ashanti, all right? And y'all go ahead and get at her, all right? And I'm gonna tell y'all, she's a great. Y'all already know because y'all hear her on here. But one of the things I do love about her is that she's as I am. She's open with the information. So nobody that I'm bringing on this platform is going to be stingy with the information, because all of our goals is to leave this earth empty, having given out everything that has been poured into us, into the people. I had there was, when I was at my former ministry, we had a brother that left and went to pastor at a church in Louisiana. And I remember my pastor went to visit him, and he said, man, this dude, He said he bought one Sunday school book for the whole church, and he the only one that got it because he want to make everybody come to him.
Oh.
And he told us, "Don't y'all be like that, because I didn't teach y'all like that." He said,
Hey, I would have grabbed his copy and went to the print shop or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I would have did.
right, right.
I would have went to Kinko's down the street. You know, like, hey, I'm gonna make me a copy of this.
Dr. Delaney was like telling us, like, don't y'all be like that. He said, if I give everything I have to you all, then you all do the same thing. Don't be stingy with the information, to try to make it depend on you, but you teach people to be independent of you and be dependent on the Lord, And so that's one of the things that I say I love that about you, sis, because you have that spirit, where you want the people to learn. And so I am definitely enjoying this myself because we all learning together. Now, then I have another book here as well. And this book, let me see, I'm trying to get the because this book has it has lessons. It has about 6 weeks worth of lessons. And the name of this, I'm trying to bring it up. But yeah, I'm trying to get to the cover page so I can show people the cover. All right, just to get some resources out there, and I know whatever others, because I know you, like I said, I know you have that document, so we definitely want to get to that. But here's another another tool for your toolbox there, you all, that y'all can read. This is Learn to Read Hebrew in 6 weeks. Now, y'all, please understand, you are not going to become fluent in 6 weeks without divine intervention. Okay,
you can read it though. I think I understand what they're saying. You can learn how to read it. If you learn how to make out the consonants and the vowels, you can definitely read it.
Right. So this is a pretty good book, and this book is by Miko Schaefer. And so these, like I said, these are some of the resources and tools that I have that you all can use. So let me just go through here a little bit. This is a little bit small on the page. They give you a little pep talk. Okay. But this is how the lessons look. Let me see if I can kind of blow this up. I'm always trying to make it bigger so everybody can see it. Let me see. There we go. Woo, that's real big. All right. And of course, some of the information that we've already read, where they talk about, the word in English, which is easy for people to read. They said, let's get started. Let's start by talking about a word in English, which is an easy word for people to read. I like to use the word banana. Now, you do exercises like this with the people as well, correct?
What you mean?
Like give them a word and then break it down kind of in Hebrew, or would this be a little bit different from what you all are doing? Because this is kind of like the language more than the biblical Hebrew, as you were mentioning earlier, correct?
Everybody has their own teaching style.
Okay.
So everybody has their own teaching style. So if I teach, when I teach, I don't really, I guess I don't start with the English first, but I kind of go through the consonants first, or I try to get acquainted with everyone's learning style, so to speak.
Okay. All right. Because in this book here it says in English, words are written on a straight line from left to right with the vowel and consonants on the same line, like in the word banana. The B is followed by an A, then an A, N, then an A, etc. In Hebrew, most vowels hang out below the consonants like this. Now, this I thought was pretty interesting. So what exactly is meant by the vowels hanging out below the consonants like this? Because we used to not seeing a word, so to speak, written out in this way. Because we had on the left side, how she has the B with the A on the bottom. Help me understand this a little bit better.
Well, for people whose primary language is not Hebrew at all, the Masoretes came up with the system to show picture representation, or well, not picture representation, dots and dashes. They came up with the system of dots and dashes to show the preserved vowel vowel vocalizations, if you will. So a lot of the vocalization of the vowels, the dots and the dashes, would be under the consonants. That
Okay.
is with the exception of the holum. The holum, the dot, to let you know it's a O vocalization, would be on the top of a vav, or would be on the top left of a consonant. So the maybe that's what this author is saying. Now
Okay.
there are no picture representation, or there are no grapheme representation for the vowels in Hebrew, although there are vowel vocalizations preserved within the language, within the consonants. So if you know the morphology, or if you know the pattern, so to speak, of how a word is spelt, you will automatically know which vowel that is there. Now, for people who are speaking Hebrew from a baby, like when they're learning, when all that's around them is being spoken as Hebrew, they're picking that up when they are babies, so that when they start to try to speak, they've already heard the pronunciation. So Morah David says by the time people who primary language is Hebrew, when they reach the third grade, they don't have the dots and dashes underneath the consonants. They take them off. Those are training wheels, because
Okay.
by that time they've learned the pattern of the letters. So if you go to my channel, you see me reading Ruth chapter 1 verses 1 to 11 without the dots and dashes. That's because I'm learning how to wean myself off of the dots and dashes to be able to see the pattern, so to speak, of which consonants would have which vowel vocalization needs to be there, and it's very consistent. So maybe that's what this author of this book is saying. The vowels hang out below the consonants, so to speak.
Okay, because when I first looked at this, that's what I was kind of figuring too. Like you said, that when you're first learning a language, so when I looked at it on the left side, the way she has, like she said, the vowels hang out below the consonants. Then it was kind of like you first learning, you go ba na na, like almost like sounding it out, ba na na. And then once you get more fluent, then you go to the right side of the screen, you'll be able to just say banana,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak. So that's how I kind of looked at it. And so like I said, these little tools, they work out. But I'm gonna listen to you and Dr. Royal even more. And then this other, let me say, I have one more resource I wanted to show for the people, and then we can go right to your document whenever you're ready to.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then this book that I have here, this is called "Simply Learn Hebrew" by a gentleman by the name of Gary Thriller. All right. So, and now all these resources that I'm showing you guys, y'all can get this stuff on Amazon or Barnes and Noble. If you have a tablet or your computer, you can buy these books. They're relatively inexpensive. Some of them are $2.99, $4.99, 99 cents, $5. I have some other resources that are a little bit more expensive, but all of these things come in handy. And I do use flashcards. And believe you me, even though if I can't pronounce the word correctly, I guess for me, I want to be able to speak it as well as our sister does here. I try to focus more on whether or not I understand the word, and then the concept and the context and how the word is used. Because I do find comprehension being something that I see a lot of people who even tend to run the Strongs a lot seem to be lacking. And they're just
Yeah.
reading the definition, and then they're just trying to find a definition to stick into what their presupposition is, rather than going with the context in terms of how the word is actually used. But here, this word by Brother Thriller.
Hey, I know you country because you put the R in this man's name, and there was no R in that man's name.
Is there? Oh, let me go back and look at that. Did I call the brother Thriller?
Yeah, you've been watching too
Oh,
many throwback MTV Michael Jackson. That's what you've been watching. I know. You telling on yourself, brother Isaiah.
so, well, so there are 29 lessons in this particular book, but then he even goes through. You start to get Genesis, all right,
You might
and
need to make these letterings bigger. Can you make this bigger?
yeah, I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. So let's see. We gonna make it bigger. Woohoo!
Oh yeah.
There. All right. So in this section, you say you be given multiple choice questions. You will see a phrase with the word highlighted in Hebrew and a word highlighted in English. Now, this is after you've already gone through the lessons. All right. And some interesting things he does say this is this repetition will help build your long-term retention. And that's a principle in Hebrew. They teach by repetition, correct?
Absolutely.
All right. And then he says, if possible, say the words aloud and read your proficiency. And your reading proficiency will improve too. Now, that's something that I do around my place. And I be around here talking, and my neighbors probably think I'm speaking in tongues or that I'm crazy because I do that.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
do that, and then he gives a lot of little things here. So here's like an example, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, and you have it. And then the little dots, like you were talking about, the Masoretes put up.
Okay.
So all of that is right there.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So this, like I said, this is another little reason. This is one of my favorite ones. I really enjoyed this one. But the other ones
Okay.
are good as well too. And so, and then he gives a whole little breakdown. So this is just a few resources. All right. So I just wanted to show that to the people. So you all, like I said, you go on Amazon. You can find these books if you want to know what these resources are. Again, you all can contact me, email me, and I'll send you what they are so you can download them for yourself. Now you have something for us, correct?
Oh yeah. I do.
All right, you ready to roll?
If it'll act right. Yeah. So I wanted to show I wanted to show why I use the pronunciation Yahweh for the tetragrammaton Yod Hey Wahe. All right. Now this is not to get on anybody who uses any other pronunciation, such as Jehovah, such as Yahweh, such as Yahweh, such as Yahuwah. I'm just showing that I'm showing what consistently grammatically works in the text. All right. So, and I'm also going to show. I know this may offend some people or hurt some feelings, but I'm going to show why I went from pronunciating the tetragrammaton from Yahuwah to Yahweh, because there was a brother who I love dearly. We hecka cool. And he was like, you used to use Yahuwah and you don't use that anymore? I'm like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I learned some things. So I don't expect everybody to learn or maybe be able to learn or whatnot, or whatever the case may be. So let me share my screen.
He went in on you, huh?
No, he didn't run. He just didn't understand. I mean, doing this, it's like people sometimes want a quick fix, and this is not a quick fix. Like you said, people want to go to the Strongs and just hurry up and get something quick, fast, and instant ramen in the microwave, and that's not how these things work at times. You know what I mean?
I got you.
Let me scoosh this up and let me go back to my thing.
Got it.
Okay, so can you see the Word document? because I know I was showing us before. Can you see the Word document there?
Yep.
Okay.
Let me see. Yeah, I can. Can everybody in there? If everybody can see this document real good, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. All right, so that way we know we got it up there where everybody can see it.
All right. So I'm gonna share something first, real quick here. I'm gonna share what you did with the olive bed here. So um, you see, starting from the top left, you have the letter, the consonant, then you have the name of the consonant, then you have the pronunciation, right? And then to the right, you have the transliteration. So when you're writing these consonants in English, the transliterated letters, these would be what you use, the ones on the far right. So um, the aleph bet. So aleph, bet, gimel, dalet, hey, wa, zayin, chet, tet, yod, kaf, lamed, mim, nun, samech, ayin, pe, sadeh, kof, resh, sin, shin, tav. Right? Right. I'll come back to that document in a hot second. I just want to start here real quick.
Now I gotta ask you a question real quick.
No problem.
How long did it take you to become familiar with the pronunciation to where you're able to be more comfortable the way you are now? Like when we hear you give us the blessing and the greeting and other things of this sort, and just now when you were doing the alphabet, what's a reasonable expectation for someone that's serious about studying the language to expect, or how much practice does it take to get to that point?
And you got to be like Allen Iverson.
You gotta
You
be all
know,
right.
we talking about practice. We talking about practice.
Okay.
We talking about practice.
So you all are hearing this. You gotta be, if you're gonna learn the language and the rules of linguistics of the language, you gotta be serious about this study. This is not
I
something
would
you want
say,
to jump
go
into
ahead,
as
go
a
ahead. My
fan.
bad.
You want to take it serious,
Yeah,
or you want to be
I would
dedicated.
say so. Yeah,
Okay.
you do want to be dedicated. It took me about a few months to actually be able to read and write. Write after writing, it took me about maybe 3 months to read it good, okay, and then about that 6 months to a year mark, I was good, um, and I was good but slow, and now, shoot, I'm to the point where I'm faster.
Okay.
I'm faster. So I started fall winter 2013. So that was pretty much 8 years ago, right?
Oh wow.
So yeah, 8 years ago. Um, and that was pretty much solid into the wall. 2012 was my last year celebrating all the secular holidays. So pretty much, I think I was only about 5 or 6 months into the walk before I was like, oh, need to start learning Hebrew now. And then it was just on and popping from there.
I think that right there is very motivating and encouraging. I think that's outstanding. I think
Hallelujah.
that is outstanding. So you all, this doesn't happen overnight.
No. And
All
I
right.
was so scared. I was scared. I was a wreck. I was so nervous. Um, so I picked up a book. I picked up a book. Well, and I was in a congregation at the time. They did some classes, however, it just wasn't my speed. I needed something just quicker, faster, and more challenging. So I picked up a book, and then I just got to going, and ran into some people online. Ran into Brother Mitzalel. Later on, last year, ran into Morah David, um, and others. You run into online who are proficient, and you kind of have discernment of who's proficient and who's not proficient enough. And so I kind of started, you know, interacting more with those people, and
Okay.
that's that. So um, now the Hebrew is more so an action language. and it's an action language. So the action is most important. And when you read from right to left, it's verb, subject, object. Right to left
Right.
is verb, subject, object, right? Now, a lot of people go here to Exodus chapter 3, verse 14, when they're trying to decide how they're going to approach the pronunciation of Yod He Wahe, right? So I'm going to highlight here. So underneath it says I am. The word am is not in Hebrew. It's just I, right?
Okay.
It's just ani. Now you see from right to left. Do I need to make it bigger? Let me know if I need to make it bigger, and I
Yes,
will.
please, for me. Because I might
Okay,
be
I
the
got you.
only person in here.
No problem. Brother Isaiah. Yeah, this is basically what we need to see. We don't need to see the whole
Right.
verse. All right, so from right to left, you have the aleph, the consonant, and then next you have hey, you have yod, and then you have hey, right? The three letters here, hey, yod, hey, that's the word to be or to exist, right? Haya, that's the word to be or exist. Now, underneath the hey and the yod, you see a colon, and you see three dots look like the front three pins of the bowling alley, right? Those are
Okay.
not those would not be the vowels when they start off a word. So when a word starts off, it's called the root, like a tree. You have roots, and then what comes out of roots? The branches or stems, right? So the root word would be haya. Haya means to be or to exist. So haya, originally underneath the word, when I click on it here, well, when I click on it right here, we'll go to 1961, right? You'll see like what look like two T's. I'm gonna go slow with this. You'll see what looks like two T's. Did I go to the right spot? No, I didn't. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back.
Because we have several people that read the this particular verse as a haya.
Mm-hmm. I know they do. I know they do. I'm trying to get to this point, but let's see. Um, okay, let me see. Oh, I think I clicked on that other one first. Okay. All right. See, this is why they say ahaya. They think that there's only A class vowels in the Hebrew alphabet or alphabet. So when you have your root or shoresh, you start out with this word to be or exist, right? To be or exist or come to pass, right? You see those two T's, T looking things. Those are the dots and dashes and the T. So those represent the ah sound. So ha ya ha ya, right? Now there when you have verbs, those are actions, right? And actions can be either perfect or imperfect. They can be complete or incomplete. They can be happening right then and there. They can be continuing, or an action can be future. An action can be done by a first person, which is I, or you, which is the second person, or he, she, or it, which is the third person, right? So there's conjugations to verbs or actions when you're trying to specify what type of action is going on and who is doing the action, whether I, you, he, she, or it is doing an action. The vocalization is going to change to reflect the verb conjugation or what type of action is going on, right? So haya, to be or exist. Haya. So when you go back to this word right here, haya, you have an aleph in front of it, right? An
Okay.
aleph in front of the word, it means it's a first person future or imperfect.
Okay.
Imperfect, right? So aleph in front of the verb means I will do something. Watch this. So let me go here.
So now let me ask you this because it brings an
Go ahead.
interesting question, Mike. Like I said, a lot of brethren in our community love to use ahaya.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Are they getting the ahaya part by taking the aleph for the a and then attaching it to the haya,
Okay, yes.
and that's how they're assuming that it's ahaya?
Yeah, and plus they think there's only A class vowels in the Hebrew alphabet.
So then the ahaya, in the manner in which it's
Mm-hmm.
being used, would that be correct or is that incorrect?
That is incorrect.
Okay.
Um,
Incorrect.
mm-hmm.
They gonna come
So,
for you. They watch this. People gonna come for you.
man, tell them to bring it, man. Tell them to
Because
bring it.
a lot of people that use this, But I
Mm-hmm.
hope that a lot of people who watch the program or anybody that participates in the learning will be humble enough to say, well, let me go and take a look at this again and then correct whatever errors or mistakes they have, and don't try
Right.
to conflate the issue, and start trying to, people, do all these ad hominems, oh, that's the Greek people teach you, or the Edomite teaching you, or the white man teaching you, or things. No, we learn the language the way that the language currently is, and the way that the language is in Scripture, so that we can have it correct or accurate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what I'm showing here, any Hebrew teacher will back me up on this, right? And if you want to pick up the Biblia Hebraica Stucartensia, this is where you're getting your pronunciations from. Grammar rules. Every language has grammar rules. Every language does, and Hebrew is no exception. There's grammar rules, and there are consistent grammar rules throughout the Tanakh. So what I'm showing here is a chart. I'm showing you. I don't want you to get too lost in the sauce, but when we talk about QAL, when you talk about the root or shorest or base of an action word, it's in its cal form, right? So it's it's simply stating what something is. It's simply stating what something is, right?
Mm.
So bana, bet, noon, and hey, that's the root word that means he built, right? He built.
Okay.
Now it's called. Let me. You see where I highlighted here. Now it's called the Cal Imperfect Weak chart right here. I'm showing these are words that are imperfect, meaning something will be done. Something will be done. It's not done. It's going to be done. Right?
Okay.
It's not done already. It's going to be done. Right? So when you say something's going to be done, you say will. If it's I am going to do something, it's I will. Or it's you going to do something, you will. Or in the third person, he, she, or it will. Right? So bana, build, bet, noon, and hey, right? It's called a third hey word. That means the last letter of the root is the hey.
Mm.
There are rules for words, right? As you see, there are rules for the words, right? If there's the third, when it says 1, 2, 3, and then the hey, that means the third root radical hey. It's a word ending in a hey. And then this next one over to the right, you see it's the numeral 1. right? So that means the first consonant of the word starts with yod.
Okay. So this now we're starting to get into the yod hey. Well, I see where you're going with it.
A little bit, yeah. I'm just showing people there's rules to stuff. There's rules to this stuff. You can't just pick up a concordance and think you finna get a translation or a transliteration off the top. This is how these are the building blocks to learning the biblical Greek. Biblical Hebrew for me, right? So to the next, you see the Roman numeral 1. Over to the right, you see the Roman numeral 1, and then you see the noon consonant. That means that those words, those root words start they start with the letter noon, right? And there's all sorts of things there, but this is like months down the line after you learn your aleph bet, your vowels, your syllabification, then you learn your nouns, then you learn your adjectives, then you learn your conjunction was, then you learn your pronouns, you learn your numbers. You learn all these different things before you get to these verbs. So haya, hey yod hey, is a third root radical word that ends in the letter hey. So these are the rules for it. So when we see in Exodus 3, chapter 14, when it says ehye, right? Ehye, you seen here, I wrote it here. Let me put it back over here. You seen this. Now under the aleph, let's see if I can make this bigger. I thought I had it bigger. Okay, so under the aleph, you see the 3 dots, right? And then under the hey, you see the colon, right? And under the yod, you see 3 dots. The 3 dots represent the short E sound, as in get. The colon under the hey means that stops. It stops. So the pronunciation of this first consonant and the second consonant, right? You have a consonant, and then the segol, the 3 dots would be like the and then you have the hey, but then you have this shwa or the colon. It would say right? And then under the yod, you have your short E, your segol. That would be the E sound, right? So you have ya for the yod, ya, and then you have E, yeah, and then you have the hey. So it's yeah, 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 right? So you come back over here to this Callan perfect week chart, yeah. Look at that. It matches, doesn't it? You have the aleph in front of the word bana. So what's that mean? That means it's the first person. I. First person is I. Right? And then under the aleph, you have the 3 dots, which is the segol, the short E. Then under the bet, what do you have? Oh, you have that colon. And then the next letter, you have the noon. What's under the noon to represent the vowel vocalization? The 3 dots, which is the short E, the S sound, and then the ending letter, you have the hey. You're finna ask the question.
Can you make this bigger for me?
Sure.
Thank you.
Let me try to make this bigger. Let's try 125. Is that good, or you want to make it bigger?
I'm listening to you. You know, in my mind, I'm putting together, like you said, how we come to the word itself. You know, how the rules of language and things. And Big Red made a good point when he was talking about how in the Japanese, which I'm a little familiar with, you know, the change when in context of others, and that's part of the reason why I brought up too how understanding the language goes far beyond just going to Strong's dictionary and picking a word, you know, and then putting it, you know, or, you know, using that word as if, and then trying to translate the entire passage. You know, Because there's some rules sometimes that people break, and that's how they miss the context of the passage itself. And normally when I'm looking at a word, I'm looking at the words before and after it also to try to associate or get what's the flow of that whole passage in the language, so I understand in the original context, which helps me to interpret the scripture a lot better. You know, and that's what I was saying also too on this week when I was teaching. I say, you know, it's not what we read that's wrong, but it's how we read it.
Yeah, especially when you don't know the rules to something.
Right.
Like I said, there's a difference between Sham and Shem. They're spelled Shin and Mem Sophi. However, the context will tell you if it's going to be pronounced Sham or whether it's going to be pronounced Shem.
Right, right. And that can have a big bearing on how we interpret the text, correct?
Absolutely. Because Shem means name and Sham means there, There. So, Ehyeh, this means I will build. Ehyeh, I will build. Aleph, Bet, Nun, Hey, but you see the segol, the Shava, or the segol, the three dots, the Shawa, or the what looks like a colon, and then again under the Nun, what looks like the three dots is a segol. This is Ebne, 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 I will build. So when you go back to what? When you go back to Exodus 3, Ehyeh. Ehyeh. I will be. So I will now. I will be. I will do something. I will exist. I will be. I will exist. I will be. Right. Remember, Haya, the root is to be or to exist. So this is I will be. That is a cow imperfect first person common singular in Exodus 3:14. Now, when you go back to this right here, right? It says in Hebrew there are two kinds of syllables, open and closed. C for consonant, V for vowel, right? That's an open syllable. A consonant, a vowel, and a consonant is a closed syllable. So let me go back over here and bring up page, what it says, 23.
Now, one thing if you don't mind me interjecting, when you were breaking down, you know, the Tetragrammaton, and you told us already that Hebrew is really a active or action type language, verb, subject, object. I'm loving how what's coming out is that the Most High's name, as revealed to Moses, is all about action. It's all about action, and that's the crux of the entire scriptures. You know, we walk by faith, not by sight. But what are we doing?
Walk.
We're walking. We're in action. Something's happening.
That's right.
You know, all throughout the scriptures in Hebrews chapter 11, when we talk about that Hall of Fame of faith, where it starts talking about Abraham and different ones, no, they all did something that demonstrated their faith.
They did something. Right.
You know, and the Most High makes no promises that aren't attached to an action that he will take on our behalf. I love it, because that also brings to light how both James and Paul address the issue of faith and works. Because, you know, when James says faith without works is dead, he's directly challenging the Greek philosophical position on mental assent. And he's trying to, you know, and he's impressing upon the readers the very culture that you're talking about right now. He's bringing them back to the verb, subject, object, that, hey, this is what, you know, this is what we were taught in our culture. This is what the faith is about. You know, and then when Paul is talking about it, you know, he's letting them know that your salvation is based on the work that the Most High has done on your behalf. So they're both talking about actions being attached to faith, but from two different perspectives because they're addressing two different issues to separate audiences. I love it. I love it.
Right?
Because people try to say that Paul and James were in conflict, but there was no conflict. No conflict at all. In fact, as I told folks, the book of James is the first book of the New Testament in terms of chronological order and when they were all written. So James could not have rebuked Paul about something Paul hadn't even said yet.
Right.
That James rebuked Paul, but that's just not true. In fact, we know through Paul's writings that he and James were actually quite close. And he went and visited James on several occasions and checked with him because he had respect for his leadership, at that time. And so there was no conflict there. So we just have to understand the conversation that's taking place with who they're writing to. But they both deal with the subject of faith, and it's always a thing that's in motion. It's an active thing. It's never stagnant, but it's I love it. I love it. Even the Most High's name, y'all, is faith in action.
Man, we about to see that right now.
All right. So, bring it out. Bring it out.
When the Most High is talking to Moses right there, the Most High is talking in the first person because the Most High is as that person's I will be, right? I will be. So and then next we're going to talk about third person. So if my husband, right? It's say for example, I'm gonna talk about Brother Isaiah, myself, and my husband, right? Say I go to Isaiah, right? And I say, Isaiah, what is your middle name? And you would say, what? My middle name is what?
You mean to give folks my real middle name, my real government name?
You don't have to if you don't want to. Or middle initial. Middle initial. Either or. Right? Either or.
My mama should have made my middle name Mr. Chocolate Delicious, but she didn't.
This was Brother Hershey for sure.
That's right. I wanted on the birth certificate.
You is a mess. Somebody get it.
But my dad, he gave me these Hebrew names.
Hey, he was right in the money with that one. Okay, give your middle initial. So if I said, hey, Brother Isaiah, what's your middle initial?
Oh, well, my middle name is Joseph, so
Okay. Now, if I were to go to my husband and tell him that information, right? I would not say, I am Joseph. I'm not in the first person. You are the first person, right? I'm the second person in the conversation. My husband's the third person. So since my husband's the third person, if I'm going to be speaking to him, I would say, hey, husband, he said his middle name was Joseph.
It's
see where I'm going with this?
I just said it that way for the people.
Yeah. No problem.
Okay.
So when Moses is pretty much the middle person, right? He's the middle person. So Yahweh would be the first person. Moses would be the second person in the conversation. And the people who Moses is talking to would be the third person. So when Moses talks to the people, what Moses would say would be, he said his name is yada yada. He is this. He is yada yada, right? But before I go there, syllabification, right? Remember when I said in Hebrew, you have two types of syllables, right? You have an open syllable, closed syllable. An open syllable consists of a consonant and a vowel. A closed syllable consists of a consonant, a vowel, and a consonant. So the word dabar here, right? This is a of the root word meaning word or matter, right? So we have dalit, and then under the dalit you have that T. What does that T represent? It's a comment, and it represents the ah sound. So you have a dalit represents the d sound, and then you have the comments or the ah sound. So you have da, right? So what is that? That is a consonant and a vowel. And then bar, you have the bet and the resh, right? Under the bet, you have the T, which is the comments, which represents the ah sound, right? So b, a, bar, da, bar. So the bet is a consonant. The ah sound represented by the what looks like a T is the vowel, and the resh is the consonant. Excuse me, the resh is the consonant. So you have a bet as the consonant, and you have the ah sound as the vowel, right? Then you have the resh as the consonant, right?
Okay.
So this is key. Remember that rule of syllabification. So we're looking at how we go from aleph, hey, yod, hey to yod, hey, wah, hey. Right? Now watch this. Actually, let's do this. You have a hey, yod, and a hey there, right? What is hey? Hey, well, you know, when you have verb conjugations, you're gonna get interchanging between the yod and the vav. That's what's gonna happen. Right? That's what's going to happen. So they're interchangeable in action words, so to speak. So you have a hey, a vav, and a hey. Right? Now watch this. What am I saying? I'm saying yod, hey, vav, hey. That would be pronounced Yahweh. I said it's a hifil. Go ahead. You're going to say something.
No, I'm not, because I'm seeing how you arrived at your conclusion. Like I said, I'm interested in methodology, so now I get it. I'm following you, and I think chat, y'all getting this? Y'all following her? You know, one thing I've learned: never underestimate your audience. And the people in the chat are very sharp, so I know that they probably getting it when I'm not getting it.
Yeah.
I'm seeing where you're going and how you arrived at, like you said, where you're at. Because one of the things that I think that a lot of times we don't see is the breakdown from others, and we're just told basically to assume it is exactly as they say and to believe them, you know, regardless. But I like the fact that you're breaking it down to show why you use the term that you use, because this makes sense to me. You know, I understand this a lot better.
So another type of action in the Hebrew is called the hifil. Now there's like 7 main ones. There's a kal, which is a simple action. There's a nifal, which is like a reflexive action, and then there's the kal, there's the nifal, there's the pl, there's the pual, there is the hifil, the hofal, and the hit payel, right? And you guys can go back and look at that stuff, but those are the binyan or the building blocks or the verb conjugations of verbs. Those are the verb conjugations of the Hebrew grammar, right? When you get to this part, you're actually learning if a verb is perfect, a complete, or if it's imperfect or incomplete, whether it's a continuing action going on, right? Or if it's an action being done to yourself, or if it's an action being done back and forth between you and somebody else. If it's an intensive action, all these things are being told by the vocalization or pronunciation of the word. This is very important. So this is how you know that there are more than A-class vowels in the Hebrew language. Ah, eh, I, o, and u. Ah, eh, I, o, u. Ah, eh, I, o, u. And there's variations of ah, eh, I, o, u. Simple as that, right? So in the Hifil action, when we say something's in the Hifil action, we're saying something is in its causative action. It can also be making, or in making action, or somebody making. That would be himlik. So himlik would be the word king, melek, and I added the hey in front of it. So himlik, it would change, right? You hear melek, you hear the consonants of melek when I'm saying himlik. That would be he made king. He made king, right? So watch this. Him leak. You heard Melek in there, didn't you? You heard Mem, you heard Lamed, and you heard Kaf, Sophie, Melek. Himlik would be the Hifil of when we say he made king. Huh? Okay, so Yod He Wahe is in a Hifil, it's in its causative form, right? It's in its causative form, imperfect. What is imperfect? Remember, imperfect is will. And in the Hifil is causative. So will cause. When something is in the Hifil imperfect, it's will cause. Now, right? Now, 3MS.
See, I like because it goes. It's I'm getting excited because everything has to do with not only with an action taken, but even a description of the Most High relative to that action, which helps put in perspective who He is in our relationship with Him. And it reminds me of the word for worship. The what's that? Shakah. You know, and I remember when I was going through that word study, and I said, you know, the way you just broke that down, you know, the first part of that, you know, or the first letter of that word is the shin, which normally it carries that meaning about like a fiery type of passion. You know? And then you have the ket, the cut as the second word, which is about the joining, you know, like a bride and the groom in the bedchamber or the secret place, so to speak. And then you have that. So I'm getting excited. You know, you make me want to preach. See, and then you have that final letter, the high, the hey, you know, which is the divine presence. So it's letting us know, like when we worship, when you look at this is why the Hebrew language is so beautiful, because it's so descriptive. And like you said, you know, it gives all of these different meanings in it. So when I shakah, I am meeting with the Most High in an intimate way where His presence will meet me. And it's a fiery, passionate exchange. So I'm putting everything into it. You know, and so my worship with Him is an girl, I'm about to let me stop here. You got me fired up now. You got me fired up now, man.
I'm at the halfway point. So let me see here. So I highlighted the Yod Hey and the Vav and the Hey.
Okay.
Yod Hey, Wah Hey, Yod Hey, Vav Hey. Now, under the Yod, under the first consonant Yod, you have a dash. That's the short ah sound as in cat. Right? That's the short ah sound as in cat. And then the next consonant over, that's the hey with that colon under it, which after a short vowel, because ah as in cat is a short vowel, right? So when you see those two dots with that colon, what's called a shavah, after right? A short vowel, it's stopped. So you have the yod, you have the patak, the ah, and then the hey with the shava or the colon. So it's yah, yah, yah.
Okay.
So the yod is the consonant, right? The patak, the line, the dash is the ah, the vowel, and then the hey with the short stop. It's not considered a vowel there because it stopped. So that colon stops, right? So the hey there is that vowel. So the yod is the consonant. Oh, let me say that again because I think I fumbled. The yod is a consonant. The patak or the ah, that line under the yod is the vowel, and then the hey is the consonant, right? That's CVC, right?
Yes.
And then the next set, right? You have the vav. You have the vav with the 3 dots under. Remember, the 3 dots under are the segol, the short e, as in get. Eh. So you have the va or the wa with the eh. So ve, right? So the short e, the segol, would be the vowel, correct? And then the last letter of the word is hey, right? What do you have there? Consonant, vowel, consonant.
Consonant, vowel, consonant. Yeah.
Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. Now
That's
watch
right.
this. This is why I say Yahweh. This is why I'm pronouncing it as Dutch, because it's a he feel imperfect third person. That means he, in masculine, singular. So there's masculine words, there's feminine words. Now, just because there are masculine and feminine words in the text doesn't mean the words that they're talking about has a gender. Like the word for father is av, right? Av.
Mm-hmm.
And then the plural fathers is avot. Avot has a feminine ending. Did you get that?
I get what you're saying, but it doesn't make
right.
right. I got what you're saying because we have people that believe the Holy Spirit is a female.
I know. That's why I'm saying this tonight.
Right. I totally disagree with that doctrine and teaching, but we heard it this week. So
right. Just because something is personified doesn't mean it's an actual person.
Right.
So
they're breaking the rule of language because they don't understand it, and they're just taking it and saying, "Oh, it's got to be this." Many times based on commentary and footnotes, and not having the real understanding of the language.
Whatever they doing, they doing something. just it's just crazy. So, okay, so remember, I'm saying when I'm pronouncing Yahweh as I am, I'm just going to show you something here. Remember when I said something's in the hifil, it's in the causative imperfect. So will cause, right? Will cause. So hifil imperfect. And these are paradigm charts, right? I don't want to get people lost in the sauce, but there's differences between who's going to do the action and what type of action is going on, right? If I say yaktil, he will cause to kill. If I say taktil, it sounds the same, don't it? Yaktil, taktil, she will cause to kill, right? If I say taktil, you will cause to kill. And look at this right here. Remember we were talking about context? Look at the third person feminine singular.
Can you make a figure for me, sis?
Yep. Is that cool?
Ooh, give it to me a little bit bigger.
Okay, let's see. Let's make it 150.
There we go.
Okay. So look at to the left you see 3FS, and to the left you see 2MS. 3 means third person, 2 means second person, 1 means first person, right? M means masculine, F means feminine, and then C means common, right? S is singular, and then P is plural. We're not going to go all the way to the plural just for time's sake. But look at 3FS, she will cause to kill, and 2MS, you will cause to kill. Taktil and taktil.
And they do similar, but there's a variation there. Right, they do look similar, but there's a variation there.
Right. What will tell you if you did not have the vowel markings there when you're reading a text? What will tell you if it's she will cause to kill or you will cause to kill? What will tell you? Context.
Context. That's right. You got to take the passage in its totality.
There you go. So tactile, tactile, actile. You know, there's variations in who's doing what. He will cause to kill. She will cause to kill. You will cause to kill. You will cause to kill if it's just the second person feminine singular, right? Or I will cause to kill, right? We're talking about what type of action and who's doing the action. So we're gonna skip over to this page now. Remember, I said Yahweh is a third person, masculine singular, Hifil imperfect. Oh, no, that's not what I want to do. You look at the column imperfect, right? So it started out hey yod hey, now it's hey bob hey, right? So the root word is hey yod hey, and it's a what? It's a root word that has 3 letters, and the ending letter is a hey. So this is this rule for this type of word, right? So over here to the left for this chart, you don't see the 3ms and the 3fs.
Right.
But we don't really need that. Because I'm trying to do something here for y'all, right? So, what page did I want to go to? I wanted to go to page. Oh, now this thing. Okay, what I want to go page. What I say? Page 386. Yep, page 386. I'm gonna show you something. Well, this is the third chet, but I really wanted to show that you come here to the imperfect, right? You have what words would look like in the perfect versus the imperfect versus imperative. Imperative is a word like it's like a request. It's like go, walk, like with an exclamation point.
Right.
So 386 here. Okay, so this is what I want to look at. Hifil imperfect third hey. Hifil imperfect third hey. Hifil causative, right? Imperfect will something, will cause. So Hifil is causative, right? Imperfect is will do something, right? And remember, yod hey wah hey, the root is hey yod hey, and hey yod hey is a word that ends in hey. The third letter is the hey, right? So we're looking at the first 2 columns here. Do I need to make this bigger for you, Brother Isaiah?
I'm good. You know, everybody
Okay.
everybody probably praying for my eyes right now that the Lord,
No problem.
get a vision. I keep asking you to make a vision.
So
I'm just as much a student as anybody else. So I'm learning along with everyone else and taking it in.
Right
so
on.
I'm enjoying it. If any of them were in class with me, they'd probably hate me because I'd ask 50 billion questions and sit up front.
Front and center.
Exactly.
Right? So the top row here is third person masculine singular. The second row here would be what? Third person feminine singular. Right? So look at this. So the root word here is gala, gimel, lamed, and hey. Gala means exile or uncovered.
Right.
Okay. And it's a gimel, lamed, and a hey, right? So what is it? It's a third hey verb. The root is the root of the word has 3 letters, and the ending letter is a hey, right? So we're looking at Hifil. We're looking at the causative forms, imperfect. That's what we're looking at. Hifil imperfect. Now, watch this. Under the yod, I highlighted the word yagle. Under the yod, you have the what? You have that patak. Under yod hey wah hey, what was under that yod? A patak, or the ah sound, short ah as in cat, right? the next consonant, a gimel, right? Under the gimel, what do we have? Well, we have that colon looking thing. We have that shavah, and it stops. It stops the sound, right? It stops the sound. And then the next consonant over is a lamed, right? And under the lamed, oh, what do you see? What do you see under the lamed? You see the 3 dots. So same 3 dots you saw under that vav, right?
Yeah, they just look from where I ain't trying to meditate to make it bigger. I'm just looking. You see how my face almost in the screen. So
right?
I'm just looking real intently. Yeah.
I didn't mean to do that part right there, but let me see if I can move it over like I was doing. Oh, so now you don't want to respond. You know, I ran a repair on this Adobe thing before I started this thing because this thing gives me trouble in the live. But since it's here, we'll stay here. So
what are you using? Acrobat Reader for like PDFs?
Acrobat, Adobe Acrobat DC. I just use the DC so I can make them. But okay, so right there. So look over here. I have the word, right? Don't you see the vocalization pattern look the same? It does same. Yagni.
Yeah, I see that. Yes.
Oh, okay. So what would it mean if I say Yahweh? I am saying he will cause to exist. He will cause to bring something to existence.
And now here's what because all in the one name, the Tetragrammaton. Everything that he tells Moses in chapter 3 of Exodus, verse 14, we even got about 5 definitions out of that one name. And it all has to do, I mean, not just with the majesty of Yah, but it's the contractual name in the name, the covenant is in his name.
Bingo. His name is in action.
So when he's wow. So when he gives Moses his name, it's basically like he's saying, I'm giving you the contract right now. I didn't sign the contract before y'all.
I'll be whatever I'll be. Yeah, I will be. I will be that which I will be.
The Most High signed the contract, the covenant, before we did, with just his name. He guaranteed everything. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
Right?
And this is awesome because we talk about and then see it brings out so many other scriptures. Like when it talks about Yeshua, he has given him a name above every name. Why? Because the whole thing about the name Yeshua, going back to the to the Tetragrammaton, is this is the name by which the Most High does the business of salvation. So the apostles say in Acts chapter 4:12, neither is there salvation in any other name under heaven given unto men, whereby we must be saved. Hallelujah. Whatsoever you do, word or deed, do it all in the name of Yeshua. Oh man, this is blowing me away because see, his name is the covenant itself. It's the contract itself. Girl, you messing me up tonight. My goodness. So it's like the elders say, when you call his name, you got all that he is.
All that he need to be. All that he need to be and want to be. See, we cannot continue to put the Most High in a box. Lord. If we understood the magnitude of this action here.
Lord have mercy. Nephew, I'm trying to run it back myself. That blew me. That's blowing me away. I mean, cuz I'm with you. I wish we had some shouting music. I got to put a shouting track in here.
Right, dun, 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 dun,
Yeah, because man,
you know what I'm saying?
that's so awesome. And then you think about it, just how great he and it's the excellency of who he is all in the name. And I'm saying to myself, like, no, the revelation that we've received here just now is worth all the work you just did for us. And this is why it's important, no matter how tedious the study may be, the payoff is always worth it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I don't care how much of a brain fog I'm in. It's all worth it to me.
It's definitely worth it. I mean, because that's the revelation that just came out, the illumination that just came out. That's so worth it. That's so worth it. And then this should be a great motivation, because this impacts and deepens our relationship with our Abba, our Father, in a way that, I mean, it should encourage us to want to know the language better. Beyond just one or two words here or there from the Strongs or the Thayers or the Browns Driver Briggs or the other resources, but we want to understand the language so we get the context. We want to know exactly what he's saying to us. Because just in his name alone, you actually got all that he is,
Right.
I mean,
hey,
goodness gracious.
You ain't never heard it broken down like that? You ain't never heard it broken down like I just did?
No, girl, that was awesome.
Wow.
That was awesome. No, that breakdown right there, I don't know, I can't speak for nobody else, but that breakdown right there, the way you went through all the little nuances and everything, it shows that everything is important. And let me say this, to those that are watching, because what you just saw was a great demonstration of never discount any little thing. When the scripture tells us not one jot or tip, even them little dots that you were going over, all those things are so important to our understanding and knowledge and our relationship with him, because all that stuff says something. It's kind of like I used to tell people when I was teaching, in a seminary, and I used to tell people the boring parts of the Bible are probably the most important parts.
The begats.
Yeah. So when you going through these parts that you think, you used to get to parts of the Bible like, oh, it's gonna be a struggle. I got to read this. And then later on, I started appreciating it, because I was like, wait a minute, let me go back to that. So there's nothing in the Most High's word that's not important. There's nothing in there that's not there on purpose. And so we have to, and so when you learn these things, for me, it just increases my love for the word. And I desire to know more of it, because every little thing, man, what they say down here in the South, from the rooter to the tutor, it's all important. It's all important. It's all important. Everything means something.
Well, I got a couple more things to show. So I'm gonna go back to sharing.
Look, Big Red said, I agree. He said, I've heard the words broken down. He said, but Shan's explanation of the verbs and consonants made it so much bigger. I've heard the breakdown too, but your breakdown, that's the best breakdown I've heard. Because so I kudos.
Because you got the visual too. Because you got the visual. Didn't get too much lost in the sauce of the paradigm chart. you know, because it looks intimidating to people. But you know, when I'm able to granularly explain things, jot by jot, tittle by tittle, you know, and get a visual. So yeah, but I do want to show like two more things though.
Let's do it. Let's do it. You know, y'all. Now you gonna show my middle name that my parents should have gave me in Hebrew, Chocolate Delicious.
Well, yeah, that would just be Yod Samek and cough, right?
So I'm Chocolate Delicious is yo. So y'all call me Chocolate Delicious from now on.
Y'all crazy, man.
That's my new
You
middle
was the
name.
dude. You was the guy Cedric the Entertainer was talking about, huh? So ain't no grown man wanna call another grown man delicious. Hey,
I ain't calling no grown man delicious. Tangent, don't be doing me like that. She said sound like
Right. All right. Let me share the screen. Let me share the screen.
All right.
Okay, right. I got a couple more things. I promise, just a couple.
All right.
Okay, so let's see. Oh, this right here. Okay, so a couple of examples of a Hifil imperfect third person masculine singular. They are in the text. The first one I'm familiar with is Numbers chapter 5, verse 26. This is the story of the bitter waters where the jealous husband, if a husband is jealous of the wife for whatever reason, takes it to the priest, yada yada, and makes a concoction. The priest make a concoction, give her pretty much a lie detector test, right, to see if she been messing around, right? So
right.
We kamat hakohen min haminha et askarata wehikter, and that's that causative, right? That's that causative. Qatar is the root, but when you say hiktir, that's that hifil, right? You hear those things. So the priest she'll take from the offering like a handful, the remembrance or memorial, and cause it to burn, burn hamizbecha on the altar, and afterwards we achar yashke et haisha, and make the woman drink et hamayim, right? So look at this word right here. Oh,
they got me. They said I set myself up. I can't even deny it. Y'all got me.
Right. So so the word here, shaka, drink, right? Okay. However, you have a yod in front of it, right? So when you have a yod, what's that? The third person. That means he. So you have a yod prefix, right, in front of a word, in front of a action, he, right? And then you have shaka. You have shin, kof, and hey. So what is shaka? Shaka means drink, and it's the root word shaka ends in a hey, right? So it's in its hifil imperfect third person masculine singular. Look at the pattern here. Excuse me. Under the yod, you have that what? You have that dash, short ass sound. The next consonant over, you have the shin. Look at that. Under the shin, it's the shava, the colon. It stops the sound, right? The next consonant, you have your kof, right? Under the kof, you have your what? Your three dots. Your three dots is your segol, which is the short E sound, eh, right? And then the ending consonant is hey. So, right? Yash, ke. Yash, ke. What does that sound like? Yahweh, right? Yash, ke.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He will cause or shall, right? He will or shall cause shall cause to drink who? The woman. Shall cause the woman to drink. Right? So it's just more intricate when you get into the binyan or the binyan of the verb conjugation. you can actually, when you actually start learning in Hebrew, you can translate for yourself and you see more of the impact of what's going on in the narrative.
Right, right.
Not just making a drink, causing this woman to drink. Will cause this woman to drink, right? Next example, Deuteronomy. Oh, that was Numbers chapter 5, verse 26. This is Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 16. Yep. This is the verse a lot of people are familiar with. Of course, brother Isaiah, he got so many likes for his what you call I ain't even gonna say it right now.
Polygamy, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll read this. So Raklo Yarbe lo susim Welo Yashiv et Ha'am Mitzrayma where Mitzrayma Lema'an Harbotsus Wayawe Amar Lachem Lo Tishfun excuse me Tosifun Lashuv where am I going? Come on, man. Tosifun Lashuv Baderek Haze Oz. So pretty much, but only not shall he cause to increase to himself horses, and not shall he return the people to Egypt in order to increase horses, because Yahweh said to you, you shall not shall you pretty much desire, or not shall you go to return by the way by this way again, right? All right. So this word right here said only if, but not and this word, when people say multiply, they just think of everything outside of addition. It just really means to increase. Rabbah. When we say Torah Rabbah, we mean a lot, right? A lot. So when you're adding, not just multiplying, you're increasing, right? So I just put a little nugget out there for y'all if you caught it. But Rabbah is the root word here, right? So you can increase not just by multiplying, however, also adding. So when you plus one, that's increasing. Get the hint? So this not to apply horses, right? This is for the next verse after, says you shall not multiply, or not increase wives. And how can you increase? By adding as well, not just multiplying. People are like, oh, as long as I don't get 5 wives, I'm good. If I got 2, I'm good. Nah, when you increase, you're adding. And if you add 1, that's increasing. Anyway, Rabbah is the root, right? Rabbah means to increase, correct? Or a lot, or a lot, much, or increase, right? Resh, bet, hey. So what is it? A third root radical root ending in hey. So the third letter of the word ends with a hey, right? What is it? In this verse, it's in the what? The hifil, the causative form, imperfect. That's will do something, will or shall, right? Then you have that. What you have the yod, you have the resh, the bet, and the hey. So what is that yod again? That yod is the prefix meaning he, right? He will or he shall, right? So under the yod, what do you have? You have the patak, you have that dash. You have that dash, that patak, that short ass sound, right? Under the resh, what do you have? You have that colon, that shlah, that stops the sound after a short vowel, right? The next consonant is a bet. And under the bet, look, you have those 3 dots. What are those 3 dots? The sagol, the short E, sound, right? And then the ending letter, hey, right? You have yod, vowel, and then resh. So consonant, vowel, consonant, right? Then you have the bet, then you have the segol, short E, and then you have the hey. What do you have? Consonant, vowel, consonant. Yarbe. He will cause to multiply, or he shall cause to multiply.
Now,
Okay.
you bring up this scripture. You know what I want to teach you.
I know.
because
I know.
I had people come at me about that post I made, but about the polygamy, which I call polygamy.
Right.
That's
And this,
an upcoming lesson.
right. You said this is an upcoming lesson. I want to say one last thing here. I'm gonna make this big. Let's see. Let's increase it to 36. You see this spelling right here?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a yod, a hey, a vav, an aleph, and a hey. Now, can you tell what's the difference between this, what I've highlighted here, and what I just highlighted second?
Mm-hmm. Because you have
What's the difference?
you have the aleph there. I see that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is what I'm going to talk about here for a hot second. I talked about why I pronounce Yahweh as such, right? Yod Hey Wah Hey with the patak, the shabah, and the sagol. I'll just say it like that. Consonant, vowel, consonant. And a lot of people say Yahoo. Hold on. Sorry about that. All right. So a lot of people say why I do not use the pronunciation Yahuwah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. All right. This is a transliteration people so-called use when they're saying that pronunciation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you see a consonant, a vowel, a consonant, right? With the Y, the A, the H, correct?
Correct.
So they're saying this would be Yah. They're saying the Yod and the Hey would be Yah. Right? Okay. Then they're saying the Vav and the Hey would be Ua.
Now, how are they getting that?
Because at the end of names, they see Yahoo. But the Hey and the Hey and the Shurek at the end of names, people don't understand. It can, there's grammar rules to that. So the Hey and the Shurek at times means like a possessive type of word, third person possessive type of word, like it belongs to him.
Okay.
But that's because they don't really know the vowel rules. So I mean they don't know the grammar rules or something like that, or they may not understand the grammatical vowel rules. So
okay. So it's a sincere mistake. It's not some type of gross error where people are just.
It's a sincere mistake for people who don't know, but
right.
I have shown this to people, and they still use this pronunciation, which is okay. So, like I said, people, for whatever reason they pronunciate it, that's how they pronunciate it. You have to ask them why they do it. You know what I'm saying? So you see the U and the A right here. They're using this Vav as a U and an A. But that breaks the syllabification rules. You have to have a consonant, a vowel, or a consonant, a vowel, and a consonant to legitimately have a syllable. So under this yod right here, well, let me highlight. So under the yod, they want to say, well, that's a patak. No problem, right? They want to say it's the patak, right? I'm highlighting down here. So they want to say yeah, right? They want to have the patak or the as sound under the yod. Then they want to have the shava or the colon stop the sound of the hey. No problem, right? That's what they want. Yeah. But then they want this vav to double as a consonant. They want the vav to double as a vowel. You can't have it.
So now you see the question from Matayahu.
The vav will make a oo sound when the consonant before it does not have a vowel. So, for example, this I'm going to highlight the yod, the hey, the vav, the aleph, and the hey. The aleph is a silent consonant. It's a guttural consonant, silent consonant, right? It only takes the vocalization of the vowel, right? So why can't the vav make a oo sound? Because you have to have, remember, Matif Yahoo. In Hebrew, there are two kinds of syllables, open and close. An open syllable is a consonant and a vowel. A closed syllable is a consonant, a vowel, and a consonant. If you want the vav to make a oo sound, it would have to look something like this. Let me type with the keyboard here. It would have to look something like this. No. What would it be? I'm trying to find the dot. No. Let me see.
Tangi asked a question too, and she asked, "Can you write two pronunciation side by side?"
I'm trying. You said, "Can I write two pronunciations side by side?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to write. Okay. Tell you what, because I'm gonna use this for the dot inside, but and then this right here. Hold on, I'm gonna try to show you something. Okay, so you see this apostrophe? You see that apostrophe? We're gonna say that's a dot on the left side of that vav. This would be the only way Yahuwah will work. You have to have a consonant and a vowel to make a syllable. So under the yod here, I have a pad tag, right? And the hey, you see there's no dot on the top left. There's no vowel under it. So what has to be used as the consonant hey's vowel? The vav. That's when the vav can be used as a oo sound. If the consonant before it does not have a vowel. And and this is not how you spell the tetragrammaton. So this is Yahoo, and then the aleph is a silent letter, guttural, right? And then the T under it represents the ah sound, right? Ah, that would be Yahuwah, but you do not spell Yahuwah with the aleph. So this is what people, I know this sounds kind of strange, harsh, offensive. This is grammatical rules, though, we're talking about.
Right.
This is grammatical rules we're talking about. And every grammatical rule I'm laying out here is consistently found in the Tanakh. And every exception to the rule is consistently found in the Tanakh. That's what this is. So this is why the vav can't be pronounced as a U. You need a consonant, you need a vowel for every consonant. you need a vowel, you need a consonant and a vowel for every syllable. So yod in the patak is a consonant and a vowel right here. The hey with the shudek, then the vav would be a shudek. The hey is the consonant, then the shudek would be the vowel, right? And then the aleph would be the consonant, and the t, the representing the comments, the ah sound would be the vowel, and then the ending hey would be the consonant, right? That is not how you spell it though. Up here, when I say yod hey wah hey, when you have the dash, the patak under the yod, and then the shava or the stopping sound, the colon under the hey, what is that? That's a consonant, a vowel, and a consonant. Then when you have the next letter, vav, it's a consonant now. So these are the grammar rules to learn the difference when a vav is going to be used as a consonant or vowel. The vav cannot be used as both a consonant and a vowel at the same time.
Right, because that breaks the language rules right there.
Period.
That change. Okay.
It breaks the language rules. So this is why I don't use Yahuwah. This is why I don't use Yahuwah. Right? We need a consonant and a vowel, a consonant, and what you got here? You got a vowel, and a consonant. It just breaks all the rules. It breaks them all.
You see the question on the screen that he asked, the follow-up question?
What's the follow-up question? Is that only a rule with the modern Hebrew? That's the rule with all the Hebrew. That's the modern Hebrew, Israeli Hebrew, biblical Hebrew, classical Hebrew, Palestinian Hebrew, all the Hebrew. That's a rule with all of them. I'll put money on that. That's a rule with all of them. This grammar rules is for all Hebrew. And Paleo is just a script. It's not a language. Script is the way a letter or a consonant looks.
I'm glad you said that because we got a few people who say they speak Paleo, and I've never heard them speak Paleo Hebrew, but they say they speak it.
But
I
yeah,
don't
I'm done.
And so I don't know if people are just saying that just to sound, more deep. I don't know, but I've heard that before, and I've kind of taken issue when people say that, but I just I say I ain't gonna meddle with it. But I've heard people say that. I've heard Morah say that I speak Paleo, and just by definition of Paleo, I kind of wonder, well, how do you know how the language sounded? Yeah, I understand we have the scripts and all the other things, but I'm like, but that's another conversation.
Yeah, so
that's another conversation. But I know where he's coming from with his question because we hear.
Lashawan Kadash is hogwash, Brother Matif Yahoo, man Israel. Yeah. If you want to, how do you even? Never mind. If you talk to somebody who picks this up, right? Ask them to read that. Ask them to read it.
It says, and then Tyrone went down it to the club and saw it. No, I'm just kidding. It don't say.
I mean, the brothers and the sisters, whomever is telling you guys these things, ask them to pick up this. This is the standard. Even if they're picking up Paleo, no problem. But the Paleo is just the script, the way something looks. It's the same vocalization, right? It's the same vocalization. If I learn the Paleo script to Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 4-6, Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu Yahweh Echad, Ve'ahavta et Yahweh Elohecha levacha, levabacha, uv'kol nafshecha, uv'kol meodecha, Wihayu kadavarim ha'eli asher anoki mesaveha hayom alabavecha. Same thing. But ask them to translate. You know. So Lashawan Kadash was made up by Brother Arya. And it is hogwash.
He's out of the One West camp, but I believe, correct?
No problem. No problem. I'm just saying. Shin and Mem Sophie. I'll just give that example again. Shin and Mem Sophie. If you say Sham for both of those words, it's saying there. If you say Sham for one of them and Sham for another, those different vocalizations will let you know those are two different words. They're spelled the exact same, two different words. Will let you know those are two different words, the vocalization. The binyan. The binyan, like I said, how do you know yagle, tagle? You know, yagle, tagle, tagli. You know, agle. Those variations, a lot of the Lashawan Kadash don't know how to do. And I know you say I'm wrong. That's okay. No, that's fine.
He's asking actually if what he put up.
If it's wrong,
Yeah,
okay. Well,
yeah, he just didn't put the question mark.
Ka halal tawab Cain. That is wrong. Yes, that is wrong. Cain, and it would be just Beshem. Be is an inseparable preposition, and then when you pronounce it with the short I, definitely it's already translated as in the. So it's just Bashem, not Bahashim. That's because people don't know the Hebrew grammar. I know hey, when you say hey in front of something, that means the. However, when you have inseparable preposition bet in front of something, it already includes the, especially when you have a certain vocalization. So that is definitely wrong. According to the grammar, according to the consistent grammar of Hebrew. So
there you go. And now one thing I will say, nephew is a very sincere person, so he's a student, so he's asking questions because he is a learner.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought he. My bad, brother. Saliha. That means I'm sorry. Forgive me.
He like to get words than me. Like I told everybody, I get on y'all nerves because I ask a million questions.
Yeah, and it's Cain.
And I want him to keep asking questions because did I say it again to everybody? The dumbest question is the one you don't ask when you know you need to know something. So never be ashamed to ask questions. Even if we don't get to all of them in one of these sessions, we'll get to them at another time. Send them in to myself or Sister Ashanti. If you send them to me, I'll make sure she gets them, and we'll come back with those questions as well.
Right? No problem. Khan is false. Cain is correct. So Cain, that would be the kaf and the nun sofit, and the vocalization for that kaf would be the sere. So the long E as in they, They. So it became. So it's not Khan. This is why the Lashawan Kadash thinks there's only A-class vowels in Hebrew, and there's more. There is more than than one vowel in Hebrew. You have ah, o, and u.
Now, what you need to teach him is how to tell his little son, boy, stop jumping off this furniture.
Hey, when he learned that, don't tell that to my dog.
I don't think he's going to be able to stop it because I saw him the other day. He's ready to fly.
Right. So even like when people say, well, shalom, you have Shin, Lamed, Bob, and Mem Sophie. It's Shin with the comments, right? That's the Shin with the comments. That's your consonant and your vowel, all right? And then you have the Lamed, right? The Lamed, you know what vowel it takes on? The Holim, the Bob. The Bob would act as the Holim, so it wouldn't ask the O sound. So this is part of Matres Lecciones. And then there would be the Mem Sofit. So the Shin with the comments, that would be your consonant and your vowel, right? Then your Lamed with your holem, that would be your consonant and your vowel. And then the ending consonant would be the Mem Sofit. Doesn't that follow the syllable? Consonant, vowel, and then what? Consonant, vowel, consonant. Shalom. That's where we're getting shalom. So when people say shalawam, what they're doing is adding a vowel for the shin. They're adding a vowel for the lamed. They're adding a vowel. They're treating as a consonant the vav, and then the mem sofi. So they're saying shalawam. So it's yeah.
Okay.
Now, yeah. So it's there are some things to learn, but I gotta go.
We appreciate you so much because you stayed with us even beyond the time, and you started with us early to give us even more. And so we definitely appreciate. Tonight was powerful because we learned some great things. If you all came in late, you want to go back and watch it from the beginning, because there was a powerful revelation just on what we know as the Tetragrammaton, on the name of the Most High as revealed to Moshe in Exodus chapter 3, verse 14. You want to hear that. So we are all learning together. All right.
I gotta close out with my greetings and then the blessing. All right. Thank you, Brother Isaiah, again for allowing me to come on. Thank you to the people who are listening now and those who will watch later. I hope this was edifying. I hope this was entertaining. I hope this was not too offensive. I hope this enlightens the genuine truth seekers. And I hope it encourages those who really want to start learning the language to go ahead and learn the language. I will be there with you and for you the whole step of the way. You can give me a holler at my email. I will respond, and I'll converse and talk to you and help you out as much as I can. All right. I do want to say, Ko Tehelim, Ko Kabod, Wahati Fedech, Le Yahweh, Avinu, Eloheinu. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, our Elohim, our Father, our Elohim, our deity, our power. And I'm going to close out with Numbers chapter 6, verse 24 to 26. This is the priestly Aaronic blessing. Yevarecha Yahweh Verishmereka. Ya'er Yahweh Panav Elecha Vihuneka. Yisa Yahweh Panav Elecha Wayasem Lacha Shalom. May Yahweh bless you and keep you. May Yahweh make his face shine on you and show you favor. May Yahweh lift up his face towards you and give you shalom, peace, wellness, wholeness. Shabbat shalom l'chol mishpacha v'havri.
Shabbat shalom, my beloved sister. All right. Enjoy your evening and your learning, and I will get with you later. All right. Shalom.
Torah.
All right, beloved. So there we have it. Another wonderful lesson. That was number 7. So we've been rolling and rocking pretty good. And tonight was especially exciting for me. So I learned a lot. And I think everyone here learned, and so we're going to continue to learn. And I hope that this encourages you to continue studying, on your journey, as you continue to learn more about the language and the culture, because all of these things help to bring us back to, what we lost, in, slavery and throughout our dispersion or diaspora. And so it's really helpful, like I said, to me. It's helpful to me, so it's helpful to you, and everybody is learning. And never be ashamed to ask questions. All right, you can ask questions, and you should ask those questions. Whether you don't want to ask the question publicly or not, then just send the email, and you can get that question answered. And one thing I can say about Sister Ashanti, she is quick to try to get back to you, or she will make sure to get back to you and answer your question. And then don't be afraid to answer or ask the question on here. So I put the link in the chat tonight to see if anybody want to come up and try, and pronouncing some of the words. We're going to do that again. And don't be ashamed. So next time we do it, y'all come up, because y'all had me up here and then was cracking on me in the chat. I saw y'all y'all getting raisin potato salad at the cookout and got to sit in the corner. Just remember that. I took names. But this was an awesome learning experience. And so I enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed it. All right. So Big Red, you got some other folks that's going to be eating raisin potato salad with you and Sonya over in the corner for talking about me. All right, beloved. So with all of that that's been said and we're gonna go ahead and bring this to a close as we normally do. All right. And just as a reminder, because one of the things that was brought up was that one of the ways in which our ancestors taught was by way of repetition. There's an old rabbinic saying that says, "He that has learned a thing 100 times is not worthy to be compared to he that has learned it 101 times." So repetition helps cement principles in our memory and in our mind, which is why the Most High told us to write these things, on the post of our homes and that why you and other things of this sort. Because what he was basically saying is the word should be the first thing on your mind when you wake up, when you walk out, when you come back, and when you lay down. So you want to make sure that the word of the Most High is always near you so you don't forget it. All right. And then Yeshua says to us in Yohanan or John chapter 5, verse 39, search the scriptures, for in them ye think ye have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. So and we learned tonight that truly this is a true statement that he said. He don't lie. When he said they are testify of me, well, we heard this in the Tetragrammaton. That's all about him. It's all about our great God and Savior, our Elohim, our Yahweh, our Yeshua. All right. And in them, ye say you think you have eternal life, but you want to know. And that's where you got to continue to search and be diligent as a student. All right. And then Acts chapter 17, verse number 11, it says to us, now these Jews were more noble than those in Thessalonica, and you are the noble descendants and children of the Most High. He's the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. He's the sovereign of the universe. And as his children, blood bought by the sacrifice of Yeshua, that makes you nobility. All right. You are princes and princesses. All right. We are kings and queens amongst the earth, those that are meant to be a part of a royal priesthood. And so we want to have that same nobility that is shown by our diligence and commitment to the word. So these Jews were more noble than those in Thessalonica. And then it tells you why. Because they received the word with all eagerness, examining the scriptures daily to see if these things were so. And we want to continue to receive the word with all eagerness. And then beyond that, examine the scriptures daily to see if these things were so. So whether it's me, Sister Ashanti, or anyone else that you hear, don't just take our word for it, but go and study the word for it and research these other resources and things so that you understand how we arrived at the methods that we did. And then you too, through your own study, might even gain more knowledge and understanding that we didn't. And then you can also share that with others as well, because we all learn from one another. All right. So in all of that, we're going to go ahead and bring this to a close on this wonderful Shabbat. What a great way to kick it off and to go into our wonderful weekends. So as I say to you all before and again, all right, I wish nothing but the best for the blessed. And truly, you are the blessed of the Most High and the apple of his eye. So I will see you all again, hopefully on tomorrow. Got a very interesting show planned for tomorrow. All right. So, and, some people may be happy about it. Some people may not be happy about it, but it's not meant to make anybody mad about it. So I hope y'all glad about it. But we're going to do something tomorrow at around the same time of the evening sacrifice at about 3 p.m. EST. So it'll be at different times for you all, wherever you are in the country. All right. But until the next time, the Most High say the same, beloved. Shalom.